Writing a personal narrative. When you're writing a personal narrative, you need to include all of the elements of a good story. These elements include characters, setting, plot, conflict, and resolution. What do these words mean, and how are you going to use them in your story? Characters. These are the people, animals, or other creatures that star in your story. In a personal narrative, these should be people that you know. You should be able to make good physical and personality descriptions for the characters in your story. Take a look at the picture of the girl on the right. Give a description of this girl and what you think her personality might be like, what she looks like, what she likes to wear, where she lives, what her name is. Take a few minutes and describe her. Setting is where your story takes place. Here is a beautiful scene. How would you describe it? What is happening in the picture? Where do you think the picture was taken? Who is in the picture? What kind of tree is in the front? What kind of weather are they having? What kind of interesting things do you think could take place in the building behind the tree? If this was the setting of your story, you would have to describe the scene so well that a person who wasn't looking at the picture could imagine it in their mind. Take a few moments and imagine what you think might be happening in the picture and where it's happening, and describe it. Plot. This is what happens in a story. This is very important and needs to make sense. It should go in a logical order of some kind so the reader can follow what's going on. What do you think the plot of this story is? Pause the video and take a few minutes to describe the story that is depicted in this picture. Conflict. Conflict is a problem that happens in the story that needs to be solved. Common conflicts in a story are between characters or between characters in nature. Conflict moves the story along. Look at the picture here. What is the conflict going on in the story? How do you think it will be solved? Resolution. This is how the conflict in a story is resolved, or the problem presented in the story is solved. Look at the picture below. What do you think the resolution of this story is? Did the boy and girl live happily ever after? What do you think the problem was that needed to be solved? Take a moment or two and think about it and jot some ideas down of what the problem might have been that this resolution is showing an answer to. Now it's your turn. Brainstorm some ideas for your personal narrative in the areas of characters, setting, plot, conflict, and resolution. Who are the people in your story? Where does the story take place? What is the story about? What kind of conflict or problem will your story try to solve? And how does it end? Take a few minutes and think about all of these different elements that are going to go in your story, and we will go through and try to add more details to make your story more interesting.